What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers and. Today, we're going to be talking about beers and Sprites. Ching, ching.
Not multiple
Ching, ching,
glasses
ching.
of Sprite. You know, my grandmother never had a grip of the English language very well, so whenever she wanted to offer you Sprite, she would always ask if you wanted a glass of Stripe. You want a glass of Stripe?
I would take a glass of fruit stripe gum flavored something.
Oh, the one that you get like 2 solid chews and then it runs out of flavor?
Yeah.
Unlike this podcast.
Which does not run out of flavor after 2 cheers, apparently.
Nope. That's exactly what I was alluding to. Thank you, Alex.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome into Beers and. Alex and Nick here as always.
Hello.
Come check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/beersandpodcast, or over on Instagram or TikTok at Beers and Podcast, over on the Twitter at Beers&1, and at Gmail at beersandpodcast@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
I'm really excited for this beer today. Have we had a Drekker on the show before?
We have, yes.
One, right? IPA?
I believe it was a peanut butter IPA, if I'm not mistaken.
Did we have a Lizard People beer?
We did not?
Did we have a... Oh,
no, it wasn't that one.
it was the IPA with the Reaper on the front.
Yes.
Okay, so first Drekker sour today.
Ooh, I didn't realize it was a sour when you were telling me.
So this is the Slang Du Jour line.
Ooh, the Slang Du Jour.
Very fancy. This is a pineapple upside down cake Slang Du Jour. It is brewed with a ton of pineapple, cherry, brown sugar, granola, cinnamon, lactose, and vanilla beans. On Untapped, it says, another one of those flavors that probably shouldn't taste so much like the real thing, but it totally does.
All right, well, sign me up. I like the fact that we led with 2 fruits that I had previously been allergic to. So, I mean, this is going to be fun for everyone.
It's fine. We've had them before.
I think so.
So I like on the Drekker beers, they do everything that's in here.
Oh.
So not only do they have like the hops and the ingredients, but they also have the malts and the flora.
Every other brewery, take note. All right, it is extraordinarily frustrating, and I mean this sincerely. It is very frustrating when we can't find out exactly what is the flavor, complexity, what even the ABV on some of these beers are not even listed on their cans. So,
Definitely.
Hats off to you, Drekker.
Yeah,
well done.
They do it almost all the time.
Almost all the time is good for me.
It's better than none of the time.
Exactly.
So we didn't tell everyone we're talking about Sprites today.
Oh yeah, we did.
Not actual Sprite soda. But so Sprites like magical creatures,
magical little woodland creatures.
So like some of the creatures technically that are Sprites that we're not really talking about. Elves, we have fairies, pixies, imps, goblins, gnomes.
Yeah, little Hector.
And then fae, fairies spelt with an A and an E.
Oh yeah, that's the fancy way.
Oh okay.
Yeah,
fancy fairies.
Fancy fairies.
Leprechauns, dryads, sylphs, naiads. So on and so forth.
Et cetera.
Correct.
A whole bunch of things that people wrote into folklore. Folks thought were real. They weren't real. Or maybe they are.
Maybe they are. In folklore, fairies are very powerful beings.
Most of these sprites are quite powerful, which frightens me.
I forget where I saw it, but like fairies have like OCD.
Oh yes.
So like if you spill salt or sugar in front of them, they have to like stop whatever they're doing and count the granules.
Oh my God.
And pick them all up.
They have like clinical obsessive compulsive.
Yeah.
Someone get them a script for something.
For fairy Adderall?
No, the opposite. I was going to say like a fairy Xanax. Like they've got to relax. Whew. Just do your job.
Just what a fairy needs.
Exactly.
Fairy Xanax.
I think so. I'm trying to think of some sort of pun with fentanyl, but I got nothing. That's right. That's the kind of episode you're going to get today, folks.
Don't ask me for puns when I'm pouring beer. You know I can't do that.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Thank you.
No problem. So, are you ready for the question of the day before we get into this delicious beer?
I am. I'm super
smells
excited.
Amazing. So this is kind of off the wall. I don't know why I was thinking about sorbet earlier today. But like, what's your favorite sorbet flavor?
Lemon.
Okay,
love a lemon.
I love when it's served in the fruit.
I was just gonna say, served in half a lemon. I'm a bitch for anything lemon flavored.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. What are you going for?
Mango.
Ooh, okay. I can get behind a
Definitely
mango sorbet. Now, a sorbet, it's not a sherbet. It's not an ice cream.
No,
It's
and
not
it's
an
not
ice.
It's not an ice. Right. What is
I don't know. What is a sorbet? Stay tuned for another episode on sorbet.
It's its
I
own
won't do
thing.
that.
Is it its own thing?
I guess so.
Because like sometimes when and Rob says it all the time, like when breweries say kettle sour or like fruited sour or like Berliner Weiss.
Yeah.
It's all just words for sours, essentially.
Yeah.
But is it not?
I don't know. I was just going to say the both of us are sitting with this revolutionary invention from Al Gore called the internet.
Al Gore did not create the internet.
Al Gore did create the internet.
That was actually a common misconception that was on the paper.
We're going to put it in a lock box.
And you know what? I said, you know what? I'm not gonna say this one because everyone knows that Al Gore didn't create the internet.
I was just in Chattanooga this past weekend, and
Son of a gun.
I had my own, like rental car. And at one point, someone was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Maybe I'll go find where Al Gore used to live, where he grew up." But I didn't.
And okay, I was gonna say, did you?
No, I genuinely wanted to. A sorbet, for reference, is in fact actually a water ice. It's a frozen dessert made from sugars sweetened water with flavoring, typically fruit juice, fruit puree, wine, liqueur, or honey.
So is sorbet the gelato too? It's a water ice.
I guess so. Yeah. So like sherbet does contain dairy, sorbet does not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what seems to be
So that's what it is.
the main difference.
Ice cream gelato, Italian ice, Italian water ice, sorbet.
Gelato actually is different in that it is made with
It's chemically different, right?
Well,
like
no,
the mix up of it.
Well, so ice cream is made with heavy cream. Gelato is made with whole milk, and it is also the way that it is. Ice cream is churned, whereas gelato, if I'm not mistaken, is like spun and whipped.
Oh,
Yeah,
learn something new every day. That makes sense. That's why it's so airy.
exactly. You didn't sign up for it, folks, but you got it
Fantastic.
now.
This slightly looks like fruit punch. I'm not going to lie to you, but it does not smell like that.
It does. It looks like it's got a nice consistency to it too.
It actually kind of smells like something we've had before.
Ooh, it does. I feel like I'm getting, interestingly enough, the granola and the vanilla before I'm getting
means anything else
the
with the
mango
cherry,
and the
right?
cherry. I'm sorry, the pineapple and the cherry.
Ooh.
I like it.
You know
I like
what?
It. It looks like you've got some pulp in here too, which is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
There's,
nice.
so they have like a secret lactose-based recipe that they use for their...
There's something about the
sours.
phrase secret lactose that
Well,
makes me
it's actually
uncomfortable.
lactose sea salt.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh. All right, Drekker.
This actually might be my first sour from them. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, this is fun. We're all going to have fun.
We always have fun.
We always have fun. Cheers.
Cheers.
God damn it.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow,
That
wow,
tastes
wow.
like cherry pineapple upside down cake.
That is fucking insane.
That is insane.
We badmouthed at least the reviewers on Untapped recently, or I did at least. But that description, it's another one that shouldn't taste exactly the way that you would expect it to, but it does.
Yeah.
How is it that this is the second time, if I'm not mistaken, and I feel like I'm starting to remember the first Drekker. How is it that they managed to layer all of these flavors so consistently and so well?
That's bizarre.
It is very strange. Are we going too far with the beer flavors?
I don't
Have
think
we
so.
gotten out of control?
When do we hit too far? Because I've already had pickle beer and it's amazing.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Oh, all right.
I drank it in about 3 seconds. a
That
12-ounce
sounds
can.
delicious.
Yeah.
This is incredible, though.
Well, yeah, this is really good.
What kind of...
So this is I don't want to get into our rating yet because I want to enjoy this. This is phenomenal. Like, wow. This is one of the best ones we've had in a while.
I think so. And it's specifically this tart cherry, which is super, super nice. Have we ever had a Hallertau Blanc hop?
Yes. So that is actually emerging as one of my if I could find it, like if I
Yeah.
know where it is. Usually like a white grape note.
And that I think is... and it matches really well with the
Man,
tart
this is-
cherry.
Man, this is tasty.
Incredibly
So
done.
I think Untapped is too low. It's like a 4.38 rating. I think that's too low.
The only reason I'm going to say no, or I'll agree, I think due to that purist aspect of things, sometimes, again, how much is too much? I think in terms of flavors, The vanilla and
There's quite a bit going on.
I think I wanted it to be a little bit more summery at first, almost to have that. I think I wanted it to be a little bit lighter, and I think that the vanilla and the granola flavor make it a little bit more indicative of something in the fall, early fall, in terms of like flavoring. Whereas I associate pineapple, tart cherry with something more
like a summer thing?
Yeah, so a little bit lighter, but really, really nicely done.
I like haven't said much because
Sorry.
I just no because I just like don't want to because I'm just like enjoying this.
It's a genuinely good beer. It stands up to itself.
It tastes like something we've had, and it's driving me nuts.
We've had another one or two, I believe, with this vanilla granola
Brown
sugar match. I don't remember if it was a blueberry, perhaps, but there was something else that was definitely thrown in there as well.
You know, the one thing I don't get that I'm missing a little bit is the cinnamon.
Is there actually
Just a
cinnamon?
little bit, yeah. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, well, brown sugar cinnamon is one of those that, like, again, I think blend together
You
so
always
much.
have them together.
Exactly, like brown sugar or cinnamon brown sugar is almost a flavor in and of itself. I don't know if I'm getting too much of the pineapple.
I'm getting it, but it's almost working like too well with the cherry. Like they're like not butting heads. They're like, yeah, this works out. They're like I don't know any good zodiac compatibility matches.
We could just go Gemini. It's twins as it is, I think.
Just Gemini.
Sure.
I feel like
Yeah.
Gemini together is not good.
No, probably
That's like
not.
4 personalities.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
You don't want that.
Ooh, very, very nicely done. Very nicely done.
This goes
overall.
together like a Capricorn and a Capricorn.
There we go. A Capricorn and a Sagittarius, I think, get along very well, too.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there we go. We don't know what we're talking about.
Nope. Okay.
About as real as our topic for today.
Okay, you ready? 4.65.
You're going that high?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Is this perhaps one of the highest, if not the highest rating
Like
you may
maybe-
have thrown on something?
Maybe my second highest.
I feel like for some reason like a 4.7 or a 4.8 kind of sticks out to one
Right.
degree. Yeah.
I remember giving Get Pitted like a 4.63 or something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to go actually just again, a little bit lower. I'm going to be a little bit closer to the Untapped average, and I'm feeling more of like a 4.4.
I mean,
again,
it's
it
good.
is spectacularly nice. Interestingly, I don't know if I would have more than one.
I don't think in one sitting.
No.
This is like a good beer to have like.
I would bring to someone's house to like try it out with them. Be like,
Sure.
I drank this before. It was really nice. Our buddy Jay, I think, would appreciate something like this. I would
absolutely.
bring one over and be like,
Like if we can get like a crowler
yes.
of this.
Yes, and share it.
Yep.
Yeah. Very, very much
Yeah,
so.
this is
Nicely done.
awesome.
Very nicely done.
This is awesome. Good pick.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Please
Shall we begin?
Kick us off with what creature
So
are we going to hear about?
For one thing, as I explained to Alex when I had gotten in here, there is an infinite amount of mythical creatures doth exist in our world. So I just kind of went with a couple that seemed to jump out at me, more or less. So the first one that I'm going to focus in on here, and by the way, my information comes from and this is a thing, the National Leprechaun Museum, Wikipedia, as well as Detroit Metro Times. The National Leprechaun Museum in Ireland, by the way.
Of course.
Okay. So the first one that I had honed in on here is the puka.
Not the necklace.
Not the necklace. No, I believe that's Pucca.
Okay.
This one is
shell.
yeah. This one is a Puca. Sometimes it's Puka. Sometimes there's a weird little Gaelic
Yeah.
accent somewhere. I don't speak Gaelic, as we all know. So the puka actually happens to be one of the primary creatures of Celtic folklore, and they're a bit confusing in that they're said to bring both good and bad fortune, and they can either help or hinder rural and marine communities. To which I said, pick a lane. Like,
Fun.
yeah. So it all depends on, again, the particular story that you're hearing. So they can have dark or white fur or hair, and are also said to be shapeshifters that can take the forms of horses, goats, cats, dogs, and hares, as in rabbits. All right. So, according to fairy mythologist, which is a thing.
I love this.
So I said piss off with your commentary about liberal arts degrees. So fairy mythologist Thomas Kitely had said, quote, notions respecting it, as in the puka, are very vague. So Thomas Corker, who was another mythologist at the time, had given a description based on a boy's account from Killarney, who had claimed, quote, old people used to say that the pukas were very numerous, long ago, were wicked-minded, black-looking bad things that would come in the form of wild colts with chains hanging about them. Little boys and girls were warned not to eat overripe blackberries, as that was said to be a sign that the puka had entered them. So evidently, this puka would be able to enter into the body as well.
Someone.
Exactly. This is according to one particular account of them. Very strange, I think, with the overripe blackberries comment.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. They're also commonly associated with enticing humans to take rides on their back, and then gives them a terrifying and wild ride before then dropping them back off where they were gotten. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand the puka again.
I'm getting like flashbacks of like the weird goat tradition that I talked about during the Christmas episode.
Oh yes, 100%. Where you're like, why is this a thing during what's supposed to be a happy time? Yeah,
exactly.
So, like I said, conversely, though, there were some good accounts of these pukas. One of them came from Lady Wilde, who actually happens to be the mother of Oscar Wilde, the author. So she had once claimed that they were helpful to farmers in telling. A farmer's son, or this was the kind of anecdote or the story. So a farmer's son named Padraig one day noticed the invisible presence of the puka brushing by and called out to him, offering a coat. So I already found a flaw. How could you notice an invisible presence? Anywho, the puka appeared in the guise of a young bull and told him to come to the old mill at night. From that time onward, the puka came secretly at night and performed all the work of milling the sacks of corn into flour. Padraig fell asleep the first time, but later concealed himself in a chest to catch a sight of them, and later made a present of a fine silk suit. This unexpectedly caused the puka to go off to, quote, see a little of the world and cease its work. But by then, the farmer's wealth allowed him to retire and give his son an education. Later, at Padraig's wedding, the puka left a gift of a golden cup filled with drink that evidently ensured their happiness. I don't know. This is what they claim.
So never heard of this before.
Nope. Not in the slightest. The puka.
This is new.
This is a new one. Again, it's maybe good, maybe bad. Maybe show up as a bull. Maybe they take you on a wild ride.
It's so random.
It's one of those two where, like, imagine, someone turning around and be like, oh, you're not good. The puka's going to come and get you. It's like, oh, and I believe in the good puka, not the bad puka.
That's definitely like an old wives' tale.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Fairies, I believe in. Pukas, that's where I draw the line.
Well, you better hope that we've got the good ones over here then. Otherwise, we're going to get some of these bad ones. I hope.
Apparently, it's up to them anyway. So
it is, I guess, or whoever's telling the story. If it's Lady Wilde, right. Or if it's mythologist. Oh God,
you know what I just?
It's like someone calling themselves a mixologist. You
know what I just thought? You're a bartender. By the way, you know what I'm gonna start doing?
What?
Dropping my rating.
You're writing your rating
in the doc.
Oh, episode 65, folks.
4.65.
Do you want to write mine down then?
Sure.
I think I said 4.4.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I'll know which one's mine because yours is shitty.
Oh my fucking God. Wow. Well.
Am I up?
I mean, if you have to go, I guess I'll sit here.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So Sounded like that was a very leprechaun-y sigh.
Arr. Leprechaun sigh with an R.
Yes.
Arr.
Yeah, aren't they just Irish pirates?
Soft pirate. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. So off air, I said to Nick, I said, be ready for a lot of Peter Pan today.
I love Peter Pan, by the way.
Myself as well. Like,
very problematic, at least the Disney version of things. But, you know.
So have you, okay, well, we won't spoil it, but have you read the original book? Like his original?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, I feel like I need to, because after doing some research.
Okay.
But anyway, so I was going to do this whole thing on Tinkerbell Fairy, and then, go into, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so do something on Legolas and Elf, played by Orlando Bloom. But I decided not to, because I found something too interesting to pass up.
I love the rabbit holes that we're allowed to go down with some of this research.
I know, it makes it fun.
It's so much fun.
Well, we make the rules, so you know.
That's right, damn it.
So this is going to be a two-parter. We're doing a double Peter Pan theory today.
Ooh, double the Pete, double the Pan.
Double the Pete, double the Pan, indeed. So Peter Pan, we grew up seeing the cartoon as kids. Mm-hmm. Didn't realize, way older than I thought, that came out in 1953.
Oh, yeah, the movie I knew was old.
I had no idea.
I don't think I realized it was 53, but I knew the movie at least, even when we were kids. I knew that the movie was at least old.
Man, I would have lost that bet so easy. So, like, briefly, I just want to get into the movie, but I don't want to talk too much about it. I just want to talk about Peter Pan.
Okay.
So his origin first appeared in J.M. Barrie's 1902 book, The Little White Bird.
Oh, I didn't realize went back that far.
So he plays a flute, and with the name, we get, like, Greek mythology vibes.
Oh, duh. Peter Pan, pan flute.
Right. Boom. Bingo. So he's essentially like the embodiment of childhood.
Yeah.
Totally carefree, mischievous. He likes to play tricks on people. He's fearlessly brave, boastful, nonchalant. He will repeatedly go out of his way to be brazen and bold, put himself in situations where he can like show off his bravado because he's just overly confident. He can fly, though we don't really know how, because in different accounts of in the animated movie it was pixie dust and believing.
Right.
In the play, it's pixie dust.
Just pixie dust.
And then in the I think in the book, it was that he had to. I think he had help from fairies, but he had to like forget his childhood. Or like forget his memories and his adventures.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, it's really strange. So we don't really know why or how he flies. He's a very skilled swordsman, and he has above average senses such as smell and sight.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's such an odd characteristic that I wish they played around with a little bit more.
Yeah, we didn't get that much of that. Yeah, he's a skilled mimicker, so he can mimic other people, or like as we saw the clock.
Oh, yes,
in the movie.
It's been years since I've seen like the full film.
It's been a while. I didn't know this, but he's able to feel danger when it's near.
Oh, he's like a Labrador.
And he can imagine things into existence.
Oh, this guy's great.
Yeah, sounds great. Now, in the movies, he plays and he's portrayed as the hero. But in the book, this may not be the case. So they do share some things in common, though. Peter Pan lives in Neverland, and where he's the leader of the Lost Boys, and the worst crime that could be committed is growing up.
Oh, God.
We know.
It sounds like...
This was in the movie.
Yeah, it sounds like being part of like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
It sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
So what if Peter Pan isn't the hero we think he is or we know him to be?
Oh, God.
Yeah, buckle up. What if he is in fact a murderous villain?
Yes. Oh, my God.
Hear me out, okay? So just... for reference, this is not for me.
Fuck your childhood. Fuck my childhood.
Also sugar-coated in...
He said already, folks, buckle up.
Buckle up. So this isn't my theory. This is like from a Reddit user.
Okay.
And then the article that I read was from Screen Rant. So they kind of adapted it a little bit. But they put it into a much, I think, more eloquent way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Very
so
nervous.
in the book, and this is why Peter Pan may be a tyrant of Neverland. In the book, and I quote, "The boys on the island vary, of course, in numbers, according as they get killed, and so on. And when they seem to be growing up, which is against the rules, Peter thins them out."
Oh, God.
So what if Peter Pan is actually like a murderous tyrant of Neverland, and when kids try to grow up, or when they do grow up, he kills them? But wait, there's more. So it goes into saying in the book, like they vary in dress because of the era or the time that they grew up in.
Yeah.
Could be dead kids, right?
Oh, God.
Hold on. According to variations on this theory, Captain Hook is more the hero instead of the villain. Actually, a former Lost Boy himself that comes back to try and end
Shut up.
Pan's tyrannical raid. So the theory states that the bad blood between Hook and Pan rose from his tyrannical rule, and Hook's crew are other Lost Boys who were rebelling against Pan's magic.
Well, Mr. Snee does look like he could be still a child. He's got that the shirt that doesn't like fit him very well.
Exactly.
And he's short and plump.
So according to the theory, these Lost Boys on his crew chose to grow up, but they didn't want to leave their home and their friends. So they stuck around. But then when Pan started to do all this stuff, that's when they come back to fight him.
I have such and not an issue, obviously, with the theory or anything like that, but like growing up being against the rules. I don't want to have to get any older myself. I don't want to wake up and go, why does that hurt? I've been supine for the past 8 hours. There's no reason why I should feel like this, but I do. I can't stop it. And point number 2. So I've got pixie dust and belief that'll make you fly, but I can't use the same thing to go ahead and stunt your growth?
So I read something else that plays off this.
Oh, I love this. Okay, good.
Saying that Tinkerbell,
yeah,
the green fairy, was absinthe, and that Peter Pan was giving people absinthe and then telling them to fly, and they would hallucinate and try and fly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's like a bad drug dealer.
Right.
Wow. I think I want to see this version.
Childhood shattered.
I want to see this version.
Yeah, it sounds like a really intense.
And I want Jared Leto to play Peter Pan.
Yeah?
I don't know. That was the first one
that
came to mind, but I feel like an evil Peter Pan. Ooh.
There's something there.
All right, Jared. I know you're a listener. Big fan.
Yeah. Somebody get on the horn with Jared.
We've got it. We'll tag him in this episode.
What's our intern's name? Man, we should really remember his name by now. It's been about 6 months.
It's not Evan, is it?
I don't know.
Evan?
Whatever your name is.
Kevin?
Get Jared on the phone.
Ivan? Claude?
So
Clyde?
that's just theory number 1.
All right.
That is not even my favorite one.
That's not even your favorite one yet? Oh, you're going to keep us in suspense?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thank you.
After this commercial break.
Do you find yourself jumping off of roofs as a result of green men telling you that you can fly, but you know you can't? Call us now at the law offices of Dr. Captain Hook, and Hook. I don't know why it became a never mind. We're just
He's got brothers.
He's got brothers. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the quadruplets. Everybody knows the Hook quadruplets. So I figured if we're going to talk about...
First off, I wish we had more beer.
I do too. We actually... This is one of the fastest ones I think I've drank at this point.
I know what it tastes like.
What?
Blueberry, other half, smoothie sour.
So it is the blueberry. And that was made with that was the graham crackers, wasn't it?
Yeah, why can't I think of what it's called?
I don't remember.
Gosh darn it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what it says on the can, Grandma's OG recipe?
Yes.
That's what it tastes like, except this is
yes.
pineapple cherry.
I think so.
Yep.
Well done.
Thank you.
We got there, folks. Hopefully you got there with us.
Took us a little bit.
So I figured if we're going to be talking about Sprites, we've got to address my friend and yours,
Our good old buddy.
Hector, who's been through so much.
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Go big or go no. So I decided, again, let's talk about the gnomes. Because I really didn't know too much about them.
I don't either. So I'm excited.
So gnomes, they are considered to be diminutive spirits in Renaissance magic and alchemy, first being introduced in the 16th century by Paracelsus in one of his writings. So typically they're said to be small humanoids who live underground. So again, spirits that take on the human form. So in some modern sense, they were described by the Abbot of Willers as such. Quote, "The earth is filled almost to the center with gnomes or fairies, a people of small stature, the guardians of treasures, of mines, and of precious stones. They are ingenious, friends of men, and easy to be commanded. They furnish the children of the sages with as much money as they have need of, and never ask any other reward of their service than the glory of being commanded. The nomides or wives of these gnomes or fairies are little, but very handsome, and their habit marvelously curious." And I think that sums up. Basically,
look at him. He's so handsome.
Basically, they're the bitches of the spirit world, is what it says. It's really a matter of, they'll just do whatever you want.
It's it's not indentured servitude if they're not being forced.
Exactly, and they're not asking for anything in return. Conversely, L. Frank Baum, the author of, the Oz series, like Wizard of Oz and whatnot, he described gnomes just a little different. So according to him, quote, "The gnomes," I don't know why I'm so quote heavy today. Quote, "The gnomes, especially their king, are the chief adversaries of the Oz people. They are ugly, hot-tempered, immortal, round-bodied, with spindly legs and arms, have long beards and wild hair, live underground, and are the militant protectors or hoarders of jewels and precious metals." So we've got
some similarities there.
Similarities in terms of we've got
protecting treasure.
Protecting treasure, but Baum goes that step in saying that they're militant about it.
Right.
Which I could maybe understand. If I was the protector of all the jewels and treasures, I'd be goddamn militant too. Don't touch my stuff.
Sure.
So those are just two varying descriptions of them. But we probably know gnomes best in their form, such as Hector, as the garden gnome. So
Indeed.
Originally, these were actually features of wealthy European homes, primarily is where you saw them, and they were made of stone, and really grew in popularity during the 20th century in particular. So they first grew in popularity when Sir Frank Crisp, who is the owner of the second largest collection of garden gnomes in the UK, which begs the question, who was the first, opened up his estate called Friar Park to the public. So this was his estate. Like I said, he opened it up to the public at least once a week from 1910 to 1919 for folks to come through and see the Victorian neo-Gothic mansion and its grounds. So the grounds, though, were insane, the landscaping and whatnot. So at one point, in fact,
I'm going to look it up.
I was going to say, I'll see if I could throw a picture up there too. And Friar Park. So the grounds were insane. And at one point, he had built an alpine garden and put in a 20-foot replica of the Matterhorn to be on display in this garden. In fact, actually, this house went into disrepair for a little bit, and George Harrison of the Beatles went ahead and bought it.
Oh, really?
In the 1970s, and basically saving it from demolition, and had put in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, put in a studio.
Yeah, I've seen this. They use this for drone shots.
Oh, probably
in movies and stuff.
Probably.
Yeah.
So following World War II, they became staples then of Western homes, typically based on those characters from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's where a lot of the imagery came from.
Yeah, they are similar.
And then they grew a little bit more in popularity beginning in the 1990s due to the idea of the traveling gnome. You know the idea? No? So the traveling gnome actually, and I don't know, it didn't explain exactly how it came about, but what would happen was that people would steal garden gnomes from their friends and then take pictures of the garden gnome in different places and then send them back to that friend.
The pictures.
And that's how the traveling gnome.
It's like Elf on a Shelf gone wrong.
Exactly. It's basically it's ransom is what it is. It's torture. I have this that belongs to you. Look at it in different places. So that's where the traveling gnome came from. Of course, that's how we got Hector. I got Hector.
And he's been our mascot ever since.
He's been our mascot ever since, but we never sent photos back to where you came from because I don't exactly remember whose lawn I swiped you off of when I was a 19-year-old piece of shit.
Which is fine. You maybe have a better home now.
Oh, God.
They probably didn't drop you as much.
He's been
in your
through
last
so
spot.
much. Literally, he's caked with hot glue. I can't find another replica of him. I wouldn't want to, but...
No.
So that's what I've got on gnomes.
Are you ready for another Peter Pan theory?
I don't know because you're scaring me.
This
You're
one's my
scaring
favorite.
me, Peter.
Isn't it? That's kind of messed up though. Like if you think about it, especially in the movie, like taking Wendy and Michael and what the other kid's name.
Isn't it John?
Sure.
I think it's John.
That's normal enough. Yeah.
I mean, realistically, though, is it creepy? Is it scary? Yeah, the whole idea of... Because I don't care what anybody's saying. He's much older than the rest of the Lost Boys.
Oh, for sure.
So he's a grown-ass man
Right.
that is hanging out with a whole bunch of little boys
Right.
in Never Never Land.
You're just giving validity to not my theory, but
Please continue then so we can listen to this Epstein prototype.
okay. Speaking of which, didn't they just sentence what's her name to
Oh, yeah. Maxine...
Ghislaine?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That piece of shit. Sure. And I believe yesterday, what's his name was also convicted too. The other piece of shit. R. Kelly just got 30 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep.
Good times.
Coming after you next, Catholic Church.
Everything in our childhood, man. It's so sad. Just everything.
Did you actively follow around the exploits of Jeffrey Epstein?
No, but I did like the remix to Ignition when I
Oh,
was
all right.
younger.
Okay. Touche. This got weird real fast.
So fast. Okay, so next Peter Pan theory is going to take us to the Marvel comic universe. Bet you didn't think we were going there.
No.
I'm dubbing this the Loki theory.
Ooh.
I can also not take credit for this. This was again another Reddit user. I don't know if that's where this post or this theory originated, but this user is referenced in the article. So I think this one sounds a little more ridiculous than the last one.
Okay.
But I also kind of find it more plausible, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does.
Okay.
What do you got?
So what if Loki from Norse mythology was actually just Peter Pan? A little background for you,
Yeah.
if anything, because I know you're
Please.
not the biggest superhero movie
No.
watcher.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know who Loki is,
I am familiar, yes.
the god of mischief.
Correct.
Okay. So he debuted in the first Marvel movie in 2011. The leader of the Frost Giants on Jotunheim, abandoned and left to die shortly after his birth. He was found and raised by Odin and Frigga. The god of mischief himself was raised alongside his brother Thor,
Yeah.
as we know, and expected to be he expected to be the one to succeed on the throne. After Odin passed him in favor of Thor, he tried to sabotage the coronation, and this is when his villainy became a thing.
Oh.
At least in the movies. So there are separate timelines in the Marvel universe because of the multiverse theory.
Yeah.
And they're just releasing this to us over the last couple of years. So now it's becoming a big part of it. So ever since he became a villain, he's kind of redeemed himself twice in one timeline and then in a separate timeline that was actually created by the Avengers.
Oh.
They had to do it to
Yeah.
get to a plot point. But this Loki came about. So the Loki in the separate timeline ends up going to the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, and I'll explain why. But first, let's go to superficial similarities between Loki and Peter Pan,
Okay.
right? Have you seen Loki from
Yes.
the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
That I am familiar
Okay.
with. At least the look.
Okay. So they both bless you.
Bless you. Leave it in. We're leaving it in.
We'll take care of it, maybe. Or maybe not. So one thing they have in common, they both love green.
Oh. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Peter Pan wears all green, green tunic, green cap, and
Yeah.
and the tights.
Is Peter Pan a ginger?
I don't think so. I think it's light brown.
Oh,
hair.
okay. I don't know why for some reason I was picturing his hair being orange.
I'm not entirely sure. I know that at least in, what's it called? Hook
Yeah.
with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Light brown hair, even when he was a kid.
True. Okay.
But I'm not sure. I would say lighter hair.
Okay.
So they both like green. Yeah.
Yeah.
They both dabble in magic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. I love that term. I dabble in magic.
Kind of sad. They're both lacking in parents,
Oh, well,
but true.
I mean, hey, if they weren't, or at least if Peter wasn't, oh no, and I guess Loki now too. Disney wouldn't want to touch it. The Disney needs a dead parent for it to go.
Loves the sad parent.
Loves the sad no parent.
God.
Who didn't hug Walt as a kid?
Seriously, right? Maybe someone hugged him too hard.
Oh, true. You are correct.
One refuses to grow up. Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Loki, who is a child, I would say, at heart.
Yeah.
He kind of like, a trickster, and also likes to like mimic people. Like he'll pretend to be them, or
Oh yeah.
right? If we dig a little deeper, we have even more clear parallels. So in episode 5 of Loki meets an alligator multiverse version of himself.
Shut up.
And in the episode, the alligator chomps off President Loki's hand.
Oh.
Very similar to Peter Pan
Oh, yeah.
and the crocodile that bit off Captain Hook's hand, turned Captain Hand into Captain Hook.
Shut up.
But wait, we're not done. So here's the Reddit user I was talking about. Reddit user River Rattler points out that both characters barely ever age.
Right.
And not only that, Loki leads a ragtag group of stragglers he saved in the show, much like Peter Pan leads the Lost Boys.
Huh.
And even further, Neverland, an imaginary like world between worlds, essentially, right, has its doppelganger stem from the Loki show. So in the show, remember when I said the Avengers created another timeline?
Right.
Okay, so the Loki in that timeline somehow finds his way to the TVA.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is when timelines go rogue, they call it, the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, comes in and erases it as to not cause another branch.
Yeah.
But they'll take people and wipe their memory, humans mostly, and then they work at the TVA.
Oh.
So Loki ends up working at the TVA. And like when they erase these worlds, all the matter in it goes to this dimensional void, this place like in between worlds, until it's destroyed. And the first thing that he sees when he gets sent to this world for the first time is a shipwreck.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, no joke. And the similarities don't stop there.
I feel like this just reinforces that nothing is new.
That's also true. Say that all the time. There's also the mythological connection here. So I said earlier, J.M. Barrie based Peter Pan off the Greek deity Pan. Mm-hmm. Pan, famed for his goat-like horns, the same horns that adorn Loki's helmet, his signature helmet. Have you ever seen his helmet?
Yeah.
The same horns.
Holy shit.
And then even more so, and this is my last little bit right here, even though that Pan was not the god of mischief, he was the god of music and sexuality. That's like something right in Loki's wheelhouse.
Huh.
Sounds insane.
No, you know what's funny? Because I think this goes back to what you had said before you had started with the second theory, that it seems a little...
It seems more plausible, but it's more ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think that the connections are not too much of a stretch by any means. Like, they're right there.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. I feel like this would actually make me go and like watch Loki now to go and see.
Oh, you would love that show.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Huh. I'll bite. Ooh, I love this kind of stuff, though.
Yeah,
I love when
fun.
those connections are there.
That was too cool to pass up. So you guys got double Peter Pan today because
Double
we make the rules.
panned.
We shouldn't do that ever again.
Nope. So, as I had told to you guys earlier, and you as well. Again, there are an infinite number of mythical creatures and characters and whatnot. So as I was doing my research, I had asked my Nick, I was like, do you have like a one that you like? So he had mentioned one that I was going to do. And then he had followed up with a second one here, which I think is pretty cool because I'd never heard of it before. But it goes by the name of, and I, again, apologize. Not only do I not speak Gaelic, I don't speak too much French. So I don't know the pronunciation. But I'm going to go with the English one of the Nain Rouge.
All right.
So the Nain Rouge is French for red dwarf. and also is sometimes called Demon of the Strait.
Oh, shoot.
But the Nain Rouge is a legendary creature of Detroit.
Oh.
So his presence is said to bring misfortune and has its roots in Norman French tales as well as Native American tales that spoke of a quote-unquote impish offspring of the stone god. So according to the legend, the founder of Detroit, a man by the name of Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, was told by, like that? Really? I could say Anthony de la Mothe Cadillac, the founder of Detroit. He was once told by a fortune teller at a gathering to appease the Nain Rouge. Like, if you ever come across this creature, or you're going to come across this creature, and when you do, make sure that you're nice to it, that you're good to it. But he obviously wasn't. When he encountered the dwarf, he apparently smacked it with his cane and yelled, quote, "Get out of my way, get out of my way, you red imp."
That was pretty damn good.
Thank you. If you're upset about it, leave a comment and tell me where I can go.
I can't hear anyone being upset over the round of applause.
Bravo. So as a consequence, Cadillac was charged, or he had a string of bad luck. He was charged with abusing power and reassigned to Louisiana. And then when he later returned to France, he was imprisoned, and at that point had lost all of his wealth and all of his family fortune. So what happened then as a result is that it's claimed that the Nain Rouge, this red dwarf, is said to appear prior to terrible accidents and terrible events in and around Detroit. So for example, on July 30th of 1763, he was said to appear just before the Battle of Bloody Run, when 58 British officers were killed by warriors from Chief Pontiac's Ottawa tribe. And after the battle, it was said that the Nain Rouge was seen dancing among the corpses after the battle, and that the river turned red with blood for days.
Oh my God.
As well. Oh yeah.
Where's this from?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. This is
This is recorded fact.
Oh, this is what it's. Yep. This is what is claimed. He allegedly also appeared to two utility workers just before the 1967 race riots. He appeared apparently in 1976 just before a major ice storm had hit. He appeared just before a major fire that took out half the city in, I believe, 1805. So as a result, since then, it's become really a part of Detroit culture. And each spring, they hold something called the Marche du Nain Rouge. So the March of the Nain Rouge. It's a costumed parade where the creature is chased out of the city. And then at the end of the parade, an effigy of the Nain Rouge is burned, banishing it from the city.
Whoa.
Every year, attendees are suggested, of course, to wear different costumes so that when the Nain Rouge returns the next year, he won't recognize who it was that ran him out of the city the previous year. This started in 2011 also.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, it started in 2011.
No way.
Yeah, apparently I saw that, at least from what I was able to tell, that, or at least according to the Wikipedia page and whatnot, I probably should have gone further. But it did seem to go up through at least 2018, where it was started off as a couple hundred people. At least in 2018, they had a record 5,000 people that were attending and part of this parade.
That's cool.
I love that. Anytime I can be promised with the burning of an effigy in public.
Doesn't take much to get Nick out of bed.
Not at all. Not at all. Nick, you want to go burn something in public? Yeah, absolutely. Let me get my shoes. Hang on.
I already have my lighter.
I got
in my hand.
lighter real quick. I can start a fire with a Brillo pad and a 9-volt battery if you want. That's a real thing, folks. Learn how to do it.
That is in fact a real thing.
Learn how to do it.
Yo, I saw the craziest thing now that we're talking about cool science stuff. I saw the craziest thing the other day. So if you take
what a shift from mythical.
Oh yeah, right over. Clean segue. If you take a battery and attach two pieces or attach like a wire to both sides of it, you can like use it as an electrical cutter.
Yep.
And like cut through paper or like cut through. It's insane.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a lot of times what like people will like use in prison.
Oh, really?
They'll take like, you know how like juicy fruit is usually covered in like a tin?
Yep.
Like that with like if you tie that tight enough and put it to like both ends of a battery, yeah, you can go ahead and
what, like cut your chains? No,
well, not so much like cut your chains, but like use it as a like heating device, or like if you wanted to like tattoo with it and stuff like that. Oh yeah, yep. So if anybody goes on to perform or commit commit arson, you didn't hear any of this from us.
From who?
That's right, Hector. How dare you?
Who's that?
Who? What?
Not Beers and Podcast.
Not Beers and Podcast at gmail.com.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
See ya.
Goodbye.